Two murders, one family, no answers. Michael Thomas Sr. is searching for justice for his son and his grandson, both killed in the last 5 years. The night team's Heather Fontaine tells their stories as they are looking for a crime stopper.
It's music that motivated Michael Thomas Jr., turning tunes into treasure.
Louisville champ. He produced it, yeah, and he did the beats on it.
Every lyric, a look into his life.
They have been played on the radio.
A life that hit the high notes. Just ask his father, Michael Thomas Sr.
I was very proud of him, you know, and I let him know that too.
But on July 5th, 2015, the soundtrack stopped. Michael's song silenced after violence stole the voice away.
News came out and said a homicide in the on Bluegrass Avenue, and I said, "Oh, another death." And a few minutes later, our phone rang.
It was Michael's sister.
So she told us that Michael had just got killed, and I said, "Nah, I couldn't believe it."
His father rushed to the scene, met by police and crime tape.
When I first went up there and I saw him laying down, I seen it from a distance. I knew it was him. He was bald headed, had a beard, and he was stretched out on the ground. I knew it was him.
Michael had been shot several times, including once in the head. Injuries so severe, his father wouldn't see him again until the funeral home.
He looked like Michael, yeah. Yeah, they did a great job on it.
Michael Sr. says his son was at a friend's house the night of the murder. That friend said Michael answered a phone call.
And he said, "I'm gonna step outside." And he said when they stepped outside, he heard fireworks.
Why would someone target him?
I don't know. That's a question that I've always asked myself.
This area around Bluegrass Avenue will always be a reminder of the pain brought to this family. And sadly enough, it's on the Watterson where that same kind of sorrow would resurface.
2 years later, someone called my daughter and said that Nicholas had been shot.
His grandson, targeted on 264 in February of 2017. He never made it off the interstate.
And he told me it was multiple gunshots into the vehicle. And I asked him again, I said, "He's still in the car?" He said, "Yeah, no ambulances around, anything."
2 lives taken in 2 years for the Thomas family.
You would never think you would have to go through it one time, but then twice, you know, and you wonder, when is this stuff gonna stop?
Michael was the uncle to his nephew Nicholas, but they grew up together.
Really, they was like brothers. He was like a big brother to them. Before Michael passed, the last time I saw him, I told him I loved him. He told me, I love you too, Daddy. And Nicholas, when I talked to him on the phone and asked him to come and help me move, he said, "I love you, Papa." So before anything happened, I shared we love one another. And it keeps me going.
Michael Sr. thinks of his granddaughter. She was 8 years old at the time of her father's murder, now a teenager.
It hurts me that he won't see her graduate from middle school. Her dad won't be around for high school. See her go off to college and graduate. And one day get married and have a family. You know, those things right there, it hurts. I'll step in, but it's not like the dad. It's rough.
No one has been arrested in his son's or grandson's case.
If they get away with this, who's to say they won't do this again?
He's hoping that people with information will talk before it's too late.
Don't wait till it hit your family or somebody you know's family that's close to your family. Do it now.
Who was calling Michael Thomas the night of July 5th, 2015? Is it a clue that could lead to an arrest? And what about his nephew, Nicholas Thomas, gunned down 2 years later in February of 2017? You can leave information without ever leaving your name. For WHAS 11 News, I'm Heather Fontaine.
That number is simple to remember, 582-CLUE, that's 582-CLUE. You do not have to leave your name. If your information does lead to an arrest, you can get up to $1,000.